They
Mm.
they get moody. We got moody cats around here, but hey, we're live, and I should have put you in the green room and brought you out. But everybody, pretend he was in the green room, and I said, "Hey, we got Harris from One Penny at a Time podcast, and we're live again in the Dividend Dive here on Sunday night." So, Harris, what's up, man? You exist. You're alive.
I did. I actually got the vault unlocked, the bunker detached, and it's been a year since I've done anything. So it's nice, but also nervous to kind of be in front of a camera again. But let's see what happens.
Well, thanks for stopping by. That's all the time we got. We wish you the best of luck, and we have some parting prizes for you.
There we go.
Easy peasy, man. Nah. Yeah, we're going to talk about whatever. And for all of those of you that are filing in and filtering in and finding your seat, hey, you know me, I wanted to do this at 7, but hey, I'm a volleyball dad here, and we were in Indianapolis, so shout out to everyone. I was gonna hook up with Brian Bollinger from Simply Safe Dividends, and I hope I didn't spoil a secret there. But anyway, shift your attention to this. Look at this is a stock I've been buying. There we go, beautiful. Look at that logo right there. If I can, hey, there we go. They had the Nike logo everywhere. There was Nike banners. There was Nike. There was a big pop-up Nike volleyball store. Lots of Nike swag, Nike everything. And I don't know if you saw this, man. I tweeted it out, but I was seeing some people with Hoka shoes, right? And some people with On. And I thought, I wonder what Nike's ad spend is, because everyone thinks that they're going to take over Nike. So yeah, I looked it up. Nike has in fiscal 24, dude, they spent $4.3 billion on ads. So that's promotional marketing, contracts, sponsorships, anything that helps grow the business like that. And On, which is On shoes, their revenue as a company in 24 was $2 billion. So Nike spent about Nike spent double their revenue just on ads and promotional content, and TV ads and billboards, everything. So kind of cool. So let's say hello to everybody and see if anyone's got anything good to say. I'm going to do my best to keep live in the or keep up with the content here. And here, oh, so we were talking before, and I want to share this with everybody. And if I can look at the ETF TAX, we will put that. I'll put that on the list, Alan. But Harris, you were telling me about. Sorry, is this loud? I got my heater on here. We were talking. It's real professional, right? We were talking about some moves you made, and one of them, I thought I misheard you with SCHB. So what was that you bought?
Yeah, so for the longest time, I have been doing VOO, VOO, and QQQM, which
And
were some of my
VOO
favorite.
VOO is Vanguard's S&P 500, and what is
Yeah,
QQQM?
QQQM. It's the Nasdaq 100, but it's not the QQQ is the one they use for options. QQQM is buy and hold. So essentially, this is the really more difference, and QQQM has a lower expense ratio compared to QQQ. So right now, where I'm at, got a lot still going on and working on some things. So I swapped those out for SCHB and then SCHG, which I mean the B does its total market instead of S&P 500. G is growth, so it does pretty much the same thing as QQQM, at least for what I'm wanting it for. I did that more for a mental aspect. Obviously, Schwab had all the splits back in October, so mentally for me, it's just easier to build those out in the phase that I'm at right now. So it's just more of a mental thing. When I compared QQQM 5-year versus SCHG's, obviously QQQM has not been around for 5 years, but the SCHG's 5-year like blew it away. So that kind of gave me some confidence there.
Yeah, I like that. And I thought, I was like, wait, it sounded like you said SCHB. And he's like, yeah, I did say
I did
SCHB,
say B.
Yeah, it's pretty much it's the VTI. It is the total stock market, but it's just Schwab's version. And I'm assuming that their expense ratio is pretty much in line with VTI. Is that, do you know off the
Is
top
that
of your head what?
that is accurate? What's cool though, I think SCHG actually has a significant lower expense ratio compared to QQQM.
Got it. And as I'm trying to pull this up for later, dude, when you talked split, I I know Visa has been on a tear, and they have their earnings coming up on this week. Where are you? Thursday. Visa has their earnings, but dude, this is going to be a fun week for earnings for everyone watching. We'll see if there's any surprises to the downside. Could get some buying opportunities, but dude, we got four of the Mag 7, Microsoft, Meta, Tesla, and Apple. By the way, Microsoft, Meta, and Tesla are all on Wednesday, so that's going to be a fun one. And then Apple is on Thursday. But then also this week we got Boeing, Starbucks, IBM, Visa, Caterpillar, and Intel. And I'm wondering, Visa's over $330 a share or right there about now. So I'm wondering if they're going to do a split. I think their last split was in 2015.
I
So
mean, maybe, right? I mean, I remember us talking about it a lot in the 260s. I wish I can go back to the 260s, but I mean, we've talked about this on separately too with Costco. When is Costco going to do the split?
I don't know, but it looks like they got a strike coming if they don't get their act together. The Teamsters, I don't know if you saw this, but they've authorized a strike in 2 weeks for 18,000 employees at Costco. So, hey, no, I
If
don't,
that
don't
happens,
don't want to disrupt the business. I think they'll be okay long term, but yeah, they're it's interesting. They're kind of disappointed that the unionization happened because they think that they're fair. Then of course the union, I think it's the Teamsters president, Sean. Oh, I don't remember his name, but of course he's calling the executives greedy and blah blah blah, and
well,
that's what they got to
here's
do.
the thing, Russ. I mean, I said I haven't looked at the data a lot, but I know it with like employee satisfaction. I know Costco was like one of the higher ones in companies because they pay their people pretty good, at least from like the last time I looked at this. So that kind of caught me off guard. But if Costco drops 5% or more, it's your small opportunity to buy a little bit there, right? I mean, I know Costco's super overvalued, but I've learned my lesson just to not bet against Costco.
It's
But
been it's been a losing proposition. Why they say like never bet against Elon? You don't. Anyway, Whiskey Tango. As far as IPR cutting the dividend, hey, they could, man. The This is one that I actually sold out of recently, our last 10 shares. But if I don't know that decriminalization is going to help them that much because from what I understand, they were doing a lot of sale leasebacks, which mean that they would buy property from the cannabis company, and in turn, they would give them a really favorable um, price. They would infuse them with cash, charge higher rent. So the company would be paying for it. It was almost like they were a cannabis bank. And that was okay as long as nobody defaulted. Now they've got some defaults. And the worry is with IIPR is if the new tenants will be able to pay the higher square footage per rent. But yeah, I don't know. I almost said your name. He's anonymous, Whiskey Tango, but yeah, if that's why I got out. A lot of uncertainty. I'm just not that smart. So I do think it should be decriminalized. Quite honestly, I don't think anybody should be locked in a metal cage for anything cannabis related. And anyway, that's me. Yeah, they'd love to hear what you've been investing, and I think we kind of covered that. Did you have
yeah,
something else? I think right.
well, I mean, right now I only have 10 holdings outside of like, 401k. I don't really count those. I've before I took my break, I was at 20. And when I started to really come back and really take my time with coming back into this, I said, look, I need to just really keep this to 10 or below, build those out, and as those are built out, add something on from there. So besides that, um, the only individual holdings I have, it's Costco, Waste Management, Visa, Vici, and Home Depot and Capital One. That is literally it.
Nice. Yeah, those Visa. Visa and Vici, I got for sure. Costco, we'll see. This one, whiskey also says that Puma got crushed. I didn't realize they were publicly traded. That one's on me. But is it a premonition for Nike? Even more downside. You know what? I know we shared the little bit about Nike's ad spend being double of On, but that's in the running. Like On and Hoka are just running. I mean, Nike is a global powerhouse juggernaut. And as I was telling Harris before, this volleyball tournament I was at, which is crazy. Women's volleyball is exploding in the country, and there's nothing that I see that's publicly traded yet. But there are 3 professional leagues now. One of them, Love, it's spelled LOVB. It's you say love volleyball, but they have it's like a farm system. They have affiliated junior teams all the way down to 13 years old, I believe. So kids can come up and potentially it's insane. Believe me, I know we help, we're feeding that beast with our money for our daughter's travel, but it is crazy. And there was just Nike products everywhere, from gear to shoes to, again, the silly little bracelet I had for my admission.
You know what's crazy with that, Russ? Now you're talking about that. I actually just remember this conversation I had 2 weeks ago. I had to travel for Dallas for work, and one of the people was talking about that. I think her 15 or 16-year-old is in volleyball, and then she told us, the gear is expensive. She gets a text message and goes, "Hey, mom, can I buy some gear?" Yep, mom gets a credit card alert for $150. It was 2 Nike jackets, so I remember that now.
Yeah, ours is, unfortunately, it's a pretty, I don't know how I want to say, militant. It's a different league than we were in last year, but they're sponsored by Mizuno, so no Nike there. But I see B still, it's right here, and I think I had been saying the Blatz, but come on, focus. I need to get rid of Ben because, anyway, this is the Schlitz logo, and you're right. Harris corrected me on that, so that's where it is. And I don't know. I'll get different stickers and throw them in the mic here. Jim swapped entire position of Coke for Pepsi. You did the opposite of Warren Buffett, who had swapped Pepsi for Coke back in the day. Would you have a favorite soda, Mr. Harris?
Let's Coke.
Yeah. Carry Coke as a kid, man. I love that stuff. If anyone wants to Google that real quick, I don't remember I think it was 2015. I don't remember what the split was, but, Pat, what's up, man? Yeah, glad to see you, Pat. He sold out of Next Era Energy, put it all in SCHD. This one I answered, Mark. Interesting. So he had a question about options, and he wanted to know if the ex-dividend date. And anyway, Mark, the way you think about it is whoever has the shares in possession gets the dividend. If you own the option contract, you are not entitled to the dividend. You're not entitled to any voting rights. It is literally just a contract that gives you the option to buy 100 shares. Every option contract controls 100 shares of stock. So it's kind of a way to leverage control of 100 shares. And like, there's a whole big strategy. Actually, it's funny you bring this up because this book came out in 2006, Get Rich with Options by Lee Lowell. And we're not going to focus. There we go. And it's a lot of boilerplate. But yeah, there's ways to do it, like buying deep in the money options, because the deeper you go, you pay more premium. But I know this is going to sound totally Greek. I'm sorry, but if you have a delta of 1, that's the highest a delta can go, is 1. It means that if the stock goes up $1, then the option contract will move up $1. So it will move, and it's a way to control anyway. But Mark, we could talk. I could talk. It would be gobbledygook all night on this. But whoever controls the stock, whoever has possession of the stock, is the one that's entitled to the dividend. So there you go. I hope that answers it. Yeah, I think Costco it does, man. It seems overvalued, and we'll see. This could be the catalyst, right? That could send the price down. But we'll. I don't know. We will see.
Russ, I know we texted back and forth for this, and I don't know if you've talked about this with the crew tonight, but what was the price for you to be able to even buy into Costco? What was it? I know we've talked about that before.
For me, it was I I want to say it was around 570s. Like I think I said like 575 to 600, but I'll go up. I'll make a premium. I'll probably do around 700. I'd love to do around 700. And with some of these companies, hey, you have to pay a premium for them because they don't go on sale that much.
I remember when we started, when we first started talking back in
Yeah,
2022, and I remember us saying that Costco was overvalued at 450. So kind of
because
crazy
I'm
how
a
that's gone up.
genius. That's why. That's called stock picking genius to say, nah, it's overvalued. I'm gonna wait. But no, honestly, oh yeah, in this book, actually, in this book, that's the point I was gonna make. It came out in 2006, and he'll tell a story like, he'll use an example. One of them, right now, Microsoft is trading at $26. So if we buy the option contract, blah blah blah, and I was like, I have the benefit of being almost 20 years into the future. And I would have just said, to hell with options contracts, buy as much damn Microsoft as you can and do nothing. No options, no trading, in and out, no nothing. Just buy the damn stock and you will be much better off. But again, nobody knew what was going to happen in 2006 that Microsoft was going to be the behemoth it was. But oh, and then he also talks about Intel, which was at $25. So yeah, that's gone nowhere. Dex thinks you're drinking Mexican Sprite.
No, I think that
What?
was talking about favorite sodas.
Yeah.
So
Oh, his. That's his.
yeah,
Okay.
the Mexican Coke and the Mexican Sprites are supreme than regular. So I agree with Dexter. Way better.
So gonna get a Pepsi and a Pepsi.
Pepsi, as they say it.
That's that's George Lopez. He has a funny bit. I don't. He talks about Mexicans working in the drive-throughs and trying to comment. Yeah, it's a Pepsi, a Coke. No, I almost did the. That was almost the Saturday Night Live skit for you older people watching. You would remember the that was John Belushi doing the Billy Goat here in Chicago. So Pepsi, no Coke. Anyway, RC. Now we're on soda talk. So Frank, yeah, thinks 700 is a. Thanks for agreeing with me, Frank. I like that. And Alan's average cost for Costco is 986. Whoa. Hey. All right, we can look up. Alan wanted to know about the ETF tax, and hey, it's been at 20 minutes. We'll do news here. Everybody loves the news, right? Oh, fun story. Last week on this platform I use, StreamYard, which I like your background. It kind of hides the StreamYard logo because I'm too cheap right now to pay for the premium version. But there was there was there's preloaded music that you can play. And it gave me a copyright infringement on that. So it's not a strike. It just means that the owner of the music gets any money. So they'll probably get like $1.72 that last week's video made. But yeah, it's kind of funny. I completely effed up the music. I was putting it real loud and it was a nightmare. But oh, Jim says for you, buddy, that Bill Gates owns Waste Management, and Bill's phone goes to voicemail, so he'll ask you what it's like. What's to like about Waste Management as it's been on Jim's watch list? What do you like about it?
Well, Jim, I'm not going to leave you hanging like Bill Gates. So let's start off there. Honestly, waste management for me, it's more about the sense that it's a monopoly. Practically, I think it's been a while since I've really dug into the stat. If I'm not mistaken, I think they have it was either 65 or 70% worth of trash pickup in the U.S. I think it's a teeny bit overvalued right now, but it's just more about one of those companies that you pay a premium for. It's just more of the monopoly sense, and everybody's got to send their trash in the recycling somewhere. So it's just more about that, great company, great brand. You look at that truck, you know exactly what it is, and the human consume more than ever, so we still need a lot of trash to get rid of.
Yeah, here I'll let me show this. Let me get us off here for a second. It's dirty. But here, Waste Management for you, they give a they say it looks reasonably valued. This is based on the trailing 5-year price to earnings ratio. But yeah, they have a strong credit rating. And yeah, the dividend yield is starting to improve a little bit because the price is starting to come down. So yeah, I don't know if they don't tell the number here about what one of those they might about what the percentage is, but yeah,
Low,
dividend growth
you know,
just
the growth is good. The low payout
look at that.
ratio. It's
Oof.
about to be an aristocrat. Actually, no,
Yeah,
well, I mean, sort of like 5 more years, but I guess that's kind of close in our world. But honestly, it's just one of those companies that you don't really sweat it at night, and that's really why. So a big thing that I do for my individual stocks, at least in my household, right? My wife does not know anything about investing, and she like worries a lot about the risk or anything. I try to keep in mind when I go individual companies, what are things that'll make her sleep well at night. I can go a little bit more risky about it, but I keep her in mind of what her risk tolerance is whenever I do individual companies.
so plenty of MPW and TSLY for her then.
MSTY, NVDY,
Yes.
all of it, degenerate.
All the yield maxes. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of those. Jeremy, I don't think he's watching. I think he had the no title. He had title. I don't remember his name, but the company that handles, I don't know how to describe it, handles the funds for Yield Max. Anyway, before I go any further into that, what about KDP, Keurig Dr. Pepper? Are you asking about it as a stock, Frank, or just as the soda? I'm not a big soda guy, but
I've actually really never looked at the stock actually.
Keurig Dr. Pepper, I'll throw it
No.
on the screen for a second. Hey, be still. I'm just happy to be part of this community too. Not an expert in any way, shape, or form, just sharing thoughts. Both of us were passionate about passive income and investing. And yeah, so let's see real quick. I'll put that guy on the screen. Hey, we'll look at KDP over here, huh? And then we'll do some news, and we'll look at. Let me see. I think I gotta fix this again. Give you more real estate to look at, everybody. But yeah, KDP. I think I had owned that for my daughter and her custodial once, but
Was
let's see.
that something that she personally picked? I remember you telling me like
Yeah,
they wanted to pick a couple individual stocks.
yeah, kinda, but she didn't care after a while.
Hey,
Yeah, it
she
looks
had
like it.
some good picks though. I remember the story where she told me that she personally wanted Caterpillar, and that was a very
Yeah,
interesting
that's
pick for a teenage girl.
she's up over 100%. But I will say it's well. I'll tell you that story in a minute. But
Mm,
yeah, there you go. I forget who asked
mm.
about KDP, but that dividend yield is pretty high. It looks like it could be undervalued, and that's just all of them. All of the junk, quote unquote, junk food companies
They've
have
taken a
there's
hit the
their
last couple months. All of them.
yeah there's their dividend growth 3 years. And let me just check one thing real quick. Yeah, they've been undervalued for a while, or at least so that with the way Simply Safe does it, when it's in this blue area, that's a fair valuation. That's 10% above and below the trailing 5-year price to earnings. So when it's below the blue area, you're supposed to buy. It's undervalued, but it's been there for a minute. And let me just see what the yeah, that dividend yield is way above the 5-year average. So if you're a believer, if you don't think that, ugh, I'll say this would make me nervous. The free cash flow payout ratio was 130. It's coming down and it might be normalized, but that's one thing I say with these big blue chip companies. They can sustain for a couple of years a greater than 100% free cash flow payout ratio. But
That was Pepsi too, right? I remember. I think you didn't you email like investor relations for Pepsi once.
oh, I did, and they said that's because the free cash flow was here's Pepsi, and let me yeah, look at that dividend yield is just disgustingly high. Uh, yeah, 51 year their dividend king. For those of you watching, this is PepsiCo, and they are. Look at that. The last time they were really undervalued, 2018 for a minute, but they have not been this undervalued going back 20 years. I mean, this is really something. So this really could be on, yeah, because they show an expected price of 181 to 222. And again, that range is 10% above and below their trailing 5-year price to earnings ratio is how they come up with that. So
I
that again does
remember. I remember when it was like at 191, 192, and you thought about selling it. That would have been the high, Russ.
Oh, I wish. Yeah. Hey, all things. Anyway, yeah, look at that dividend yield way above the 5-year average, the PE way below the 5-year. And there you go. Their free cash flow payout ratio for Pepsi, yeah, it hit 98. And that it made me a little nervous seeing it at 111, came down. But they told me that they were investing in the company, trying to grow it. And that's what there was a hit to their free cash flow. And let me see. Cambria Tax Aware. I think this is for anybody that listens to, oh my God, I forgot his name. He has a podcast. This is his company, which is Cambria, and he has a bunch of different Meb Faber. Dude, this is a brand new one. There's no information, and I don't know anything about it. So, if anybody has anything that they can talk about,
Never
that,
heard of
and
it
then,
before. It's the first for me
yeah,
actually hearing
it's
this.
brand new. And then we will jump to news real quick, Harris. Let me do this. You see the news there? Look at
Yeah.
that. All right, real quick, everybody, because there's a lot here. So let's go real quick. If, as always, you pause the screen if you, maybe I should put us on here, see what that looks like. If, yeah, that's good enough. Everyone deal with it. What does that look like? Oh, how about that? A little better? I think that's a little better. All right, here's the news. I'll do that. Oh, look at this. Where's my Wisconsin people? Wisconsin, because Alliant increased their dividend 5.7%. They Wisconsin and Iowa. Hey, shout out up there in Cheesehead land. So First Long Island ticker Flick is going to be merging with Connect One. So there you go. That's it had a 7% yield, but that's going to be dropping to match Connect One. So if anybody invests in that, you might want to look elsewhere. I won't get into the outlooks because that's just more administrative. Air Products, APD, raised the dividend a paltry 1.1%. And that's what you get with some of these. I think they're a dividend king. Yeah, they're a dividend king. So Onioke, or 10K, 4.0% dividend raise. A couple more here. Easterly. Somebody was talking about Easterly. They downgraded their dividend from 40 to 30. That's Simply Safe's safety score. And that is, why is it? Because Trump's pushing to cut government real estate. That would be bad for ticker DEA, because they are predominantly in government real estate is DEA. And you see that one thought on that, that's the problem there, dude, because one of their strengths was supposed to be that the government is their tenant. They're a landlord for government buildings. Government's always going to pay their rent unless somebody comes in and they say, we don't need all these properties. We got the Department of Government Efficiency, Doge, and they start exercising the demons of government bloat. Well, then companies like DEA are going to have less revenue. All right, moving on real quick here. GE is raising their dividend 30%. So shout out GE if anyone's held that. Elevance Health, ticker ELV, raised that dividend 4.9%. Look at that safety score of 99.
Those are some of the diplomats' favorites right there, Elevance Health.
That's right, it is. 4.9%. That makes me nervous. Healthcare here makes me nervous. We can talk about that if anyone wants to. American Express is going to raise their dividend 17%. So shout out American Express. I wonder if Visa is going to try and beat them. So we'll see. We might find out this. I don't know. Hold on. I'll look at Visa in a second here. But FDA approval of Zyn. So if you guys use Zyn, have you ever used Zyn, Harris?
No.
I've never used it. I never will. But anyway, so it's the FDA approved Zyn. So they upgraded their safety score a few points. And I think there's one more here. They refreshed an outlook on Scotiabank. There it is. Last one, Black Hills, which is another dividend king. It's a utility, raised that dividend 4%, which is its 54th consecutive year of annual dividend growth. And I want to see if Visa's due for a dividend raise here. Yeah, they are, I think. Let's see. Do we got 4 bars? No, we don't. What am I saying? They just read it. October 24. I don't know what year or month I'm in, but so they will not be raising the dividend again. That would be highly unusual. And Visa looks like it's at the high end of its reasonable valuation. That's just a lot of spieling and talking from me. So, what are your thoughts on some of this so I can take a sip?
So, I mean, American Express is pretty impressive there with a 17% up. For me, I think like the longest time I've always been super long on Discover DFS, but
Yeah.
I swapped it into Capital One because obviously I'm waiting for that deal to go through, and I'm super high on that. Capital One's actually the best performing individual stock in my portfolio at 52% up right now. So
Yeah,
can't
and you
complain.
never know which one it's going to be. You really don't know. Oh boy, Mark. Mark, come on. Why are you watching football? You shouldn't be focused on this. Pause the
Look,
damn game,
I'm gonna say this right now, Russ. Super Bowl is my birthday,
Oh, is
and
it?
it is. It's looking like it's gonna be KC versus the Eagles. I
Oh.
think I might skip the Super Bowl this
What
year because
happened?
I
What
mean
happened to the
they got another.
Eagles?
KC got another touchdown,
This is ridiculous.
but
They just can't lose, dude. They're allergic to losing.
yeah.
Oh,
So
look at our friend, our mutual friend, Mr. Ryan Williams. Rinny Williamus is in the stream. So, ¿Qué paso, mijo? What's up, Williams? Will I ams. Richie Diaz. Dime en español, por favor. Tell me in Spanish, please. Thoughts on EIX? Oh, they got dividend downgraded. California wildfire could be ending. Yeah, let me see. Oh, he means as a good thing. I think there's still going to be some liability there. That's Edison. I think Edison, not international, is it? Let me see.
yeah,
Richie. Yeah,
actually,
I don't know if I'd play with that, man. Yeah,
my
Edison International.
my dad's actually visiting California right now. He actually called me this morning. It was raining pretty hard over there, so that's good for them, right? Because that's
That's
just a
awesome to
shame.
hear.
That's just a shame.
Here, let me share this. How do I share this screen? I can show you, Richie, what we're looking at here. What I'm looking at least. Yeah, so Ederson International is yeah, that dividend yield is just shot up with the wildfires, but yeah, if it could be undervalued, but their note was that yeah, they downgraded the dividend score from 60 to 50 because the wildfires raised concerns for their dividend profile. Yeah, they're the region's utilities, the region's electric utility provider. But yeah, dude, I don't know that there could be some lawsuits going on, and yeah, it's crazy. Look at that. Look at that when that happens. That dividend yield was average for it was just way down, and then the fires happened, and everybody bailed on the stock. So if you're a believer and you got a stomach for volatility, then I would say go for it, man. See what happens. I don't know. It's your money. It's not mine. That's a terrible thing to say. Just put it all in options. Just buy MicroStrategy options. YOLO, why not? Not financial advice.
You know what's crazy, Russ? Thinking about this kind of triggered it because you said MicroStrategies. I haven't been on X for like a long time, right? So all of this, it's kind of like I'm coming back to see what's changed over a year. I made a post that I don't know why it went stupid viral, got like 70,000 views. All I literally said was, I'm a boss, I actually, my job, I have been role in leadership. And there's a lot of 20-something-year-olds in my office, and they just started. And I always tell them, look, do your 401k match. If you want to put anything extra, start up a Roth IRA. I know I'm being boring, right? Just do something extra so you're not old and decrepit and trying to die. All I said was that. I got so many posts of
Yeah.
people saying that's the worst advice ever. Make him buy Bitcoin, make him do a Bitcoin traditional IRA and all this stuff. I'm like, oh my God, that's back around where like all the Bitcoin bros and all the crypto bros like, oh.
That's it, and that's what makes me feel like it could be bubble time. It could be coming to a head because it was in the late 90s with the internet stuff. And dude, I wasn't investing back then, but my uncle had a friend who quit his job to day trade stocks because it was, and I remember him saying, I was just back out of the Navy in 99. And he was telling me, he's like, you got to get into this stock trading. He's like, yeah, a monkey could do it. You just buy the internet stocks. All you have to do, you throw a dart, you'll make money. and then all of a sudden the bottom fall out, and then he's going back looking for another job. So
if you want to think about this, you know how they always make a joke, like people who actually time like the market or timing a sell of a company at the perfect time. You want to think about it, or when Mark Cuban, when he sold, was it Yahoo or eBay? I always forget when he
I don't
sold it at the
remember.
high. I think Mark Cuban, if I'm not mistaken, it was Yahoo. I gotta Google this now. This is bothering me now.
All right,
But
you
he
Google it.
whatever company he had sold it at the high, and then it crashed like really bad. Mark.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just it feels crazy to me because I don't know I don't know what they do. Like Bitcoin is like gold. I understand it could solve other problems, but it's the blockchain, I think, is what the value is more than the Bitcoin, which is on the blockchain. But dude, I don't know. It's not like a business that's solving
Actually,
real world problems. And
so Russ,
yeah,
in April 99, less than 9 months after it IPO'd, Yahoo announced the acquisition of broadcast.com. So that was Cuban. Cuban owned broadcast.com. I remember that, for 5.7 billion in stock. At the time, broadcast.com had 570,000 users, and the purchase price was over 10,000 per user. Cuban sold most of his Yahoo stock that same year, netting over $1 billion, and Yahoo went down. So there you go.
good for him. Hey, April of 99. You know why I don't remember that story?
Because you're in the Navy?
No, well, I was in the Navy. I was too busy turning 21 in April of 99. And a 21-year-old me just turned 21, drinking, gambling, women, not much room in there for stocks. And I spent a lot of money. My wife says, too bad you didn't invest some of that money. And I was like, yeah, well, hey, at least I have some fun memories. And she's like, I'm not
You
part of any of those memories. I'm like, that's true.
you left out the most important thing you're doing in your early 20s, because we've talked about this before. Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Oh, yeah, I did play that. That's dude, there was some good songs on that. Oh, I love
Oh
that.
yeah.
All right, before I get too far off here. Yeah, Whiskey Tango thinks Philip Morris is getting overvalued. Hey man, it may, but nobody's gone broke taking a profit. And I would add on that, if you've made money in the stock market, you've done something right. It's just like your beard looking thick, as Ryan says.
Listen, before my birthday, this is gonna get trimmed down. I mean, in Texas right now, I mean, it snowed last week, and it was like it was almost like 5 degrees last Monday. So that, I'm just not in the shaving mood right now for that.
You don't have to be. Oh, look at this. Mark had said, did you hear Ryan on the Dividend Talk podcast?
Dude, so that episode, I know like their episodes are like, about an hour and a half long. I literally used that when I had to do like some deep cleaning. It made my cleaning so much easier. Ryan, you absolutely killed it on that episode. And I forget, I started laughing really hard. What's Ryan's word every time he says it? Everybody's got to take a drink. He has a word.
Oh, yeah, it was it's not switching gears. It
No,
was not too shabby.
not too shabby. I was laughing when he said that.
I always tell him when he always likes to say switching gears. So switching gears, Whiskey Tango says yeah, actually, you know what? Okay, Bitcoin I think is the one legitimate one, and but like the Trump coin and Melania coin, that's insane. That's insane and it's just clearly can be used for something nefarious because Scott Galloway, I read his Professor G, I read his newsletter, and he brought up the point that it's America for sale because any foreign country could just say, hey, tell Trump we're looking at buying, $50 billion worth of Trump coin, which is going to make him extremely wealthy. There's no record of where it came from. There's no record of any of this. And then he can start making decisions and we don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I don't know. I mean, we'll see where it goes, but I'm still staying out. But Dex says that Philip Morris is always expensive. He's a BTI guy. Well, I invested in Mo, but we decided, my wife and I, we didn't want to own any tobacco stocks anymore. which is not too shabby, right?
No, absolutely. Actually, go to Mark's recent comment there.
Let's see. Let's see. So his crypto coins is his dad's version of baseball cards. He used to go to a bunch of different flea markets buying baseball cards. In the late 80s, they were worth a lot, and then everything fell apart. Well, Mark, the ones in the late 80s, and actually it's a pretty good point because I was buying football, baseball, and hockey cards in the late 80s and early 90s. Everybody had their cards thrown away from, I would say, the probably the early 1980s and earlier, just gone. That's why there was so little supply of them. But then in the late 80s and early 90s, especially the 90s, people like me when I was in high school, everybody was buying and collecting and holding. So the supply was through the roof. And guess what happens when the supply is through the roof? Dude, the values were low. And it's funny because sometimes we forget to focus on the demand side or the supply side. We always want to look at like either supply or demand. And yeah, like lithium comes to mind. I think that's why Albemarle did so poorly because all of a sudden lithium was in demand. It shot up, and then all of a sudden they just kept pulling more lithium out of the earth, pulling. They got a giant glut of lithium. So the demand for EVs tapered off a little bit. Now look at, so then they got a huge supply, and what happened? Their stock gets crushed. But
My mom threw away my original Pokemon cards. I'm pretty upset about
oh
that.
my god, dude, that makes me sad because you had them, and I remember because I was, what years was that?
I mean, that would have been what in the US at least, what 98, 99?
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember hearing about that right when I was in the Navy, and I do remember telling somebody this sounds like the dumbest thing I've ever heard of, and I remember being at stores and seeing the boxes of the Pokemon cards, and I just remember I'd look at it, just shake my head, say like, who would ever buy this stupid junk? And now I'm seeing, was it Logan Paul or Jake Paul? Yeah, dude, he's flexing like that, whatever that Charizard card is.
5.5 mil.
Yeah,
Also, if you want to look at like global power, like the branding numbers, and I've talked about this before, I think on one of y'all streams. Um, top 5 licensed products in the world. Pokemon is in the top 5, and that's not even including like everything else in Nintendo. It is under a branch of Nintendo, but top 5 most licensed brand in the world. So,
yeah.
anyways,
Again, hindsight, right? Always, but yeah, I
it
just,
happens.
oh god, I could just see it and shaking my head, be like, these
Yeah.
stupid kids with these stupid Pokemon cards, junk. And here we are.
I got a question for you, Russ.
Yeah,
For this year, I think all of us have been in the same kind of in the same thought process of like less is more. However, if there is one stock that's on your watch list that hits your target price, what would be your next potential add if you have that option?
yeah. So actually, right now I'm tapering off with the individual ads, so it'd have to be strong conviction, and I it's just Costco. I mean, it's we're there. My wife shows, it's crazy. She'll, the last time she was there, she spent $400. Now, granted, we did get some protein powder and some vitamins, and yeah, I take glucosamine and stuff like that for the joints. And anyway, so we bought a few other things, but she was like checking it. She's like, I thought it was a mistake. She's like, no, it adds up. We dropped $400 at Costco, which is just, it's nutty, and it's always packed. It's always packed. There's always people there, and I can't see it going away. I really can't. So
Yeah.
uh,
But what about for the audience? What would be one stock that you would love to add this year? Would love to hear everybody else's thoughts on that.
thank you for the. I forget to ask the sometimes, but yeah, that's funny. Korean. 87 and 92 is the junk era. That's almost smack dab exactly when I collected cards. Like literally. I actually started in 85 when I was in second grade because I remember the Bears were winning the Super Bowl. I remember buying football cards, but yeah. And then 92. Once I started high school, that was my freshman year in high school, was 92. I didn't really buy so much. It tapered off, but yeah, that's that's that. So, oh well. Yeah, let's hope. Oh, look at this, Michael with his Beanie Babies. Yeah.
Worthless junk. I always see the meme that always goes around like at least like once every couple weeks of the two couple in divorce court trying to split off their Beanie Baby collection in like '99. I always think about that photo.
I don't know. My friend's sister worked for Thai Corporation, which is
Hmm.
in Oak Brook, yeah, Illinois, right down the street from me. And oh my God, she has some collector ones, and her room, it's nuts, it's insane. She has all these
Yeah,
Beanie Babies. She's like, I'll never sell one. And I remember
yeah.
walking through, just seeing like, I felt like I was in a bank vault, and there's just money. I'm like, you gotta sell these. It, some reason they mean more to her than money, and she said, I will never sell these. And I was like,
There's
you are
only
crazy.
I think there's only like five of them that are worth a lot of money, and for some reason I know what one of them is because I'm a toy collector. It's the
Yeah.
Princess Di edition of the
Oh,
Teeny Baby. That one I know is like one of the top five. Other than that, they're pretty much junk.
yeah, I'm pretty sure she has it, but hey, you know, she wouldn't sell it anyway, even if you tried to give her $1 million, probably. Oh, Adam, no, not going to happen. No more guitar. That was a one and done. Anybody wonders what he's talking about? Check out the last live stream. I was driving home from a volleyball tournament in Milwaukee. Like this is it for a minute now. But yeah, I thought that'd be fun if I whipped together like a 10-second punk intro and did that. And the singing wasn't as good on that one, but uh, somebody said about, yeah, Costco's selling gold and silver, and a lot of people they sell out. They sell out because of that
It's
markup, right?
instant. It's instantly too.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if he's asking this. Yeah, Harris said toys. Myself was comics and sports cards.
Yeah, it's toys, vinyl records, uh, enamel pins, and art prints. Those are my very expensive hobbies.
Yeah, and now I'm just collecting companies that pay growing passive income.
What's one hell of a drug, like you always say.
Seriously, it is. It's seriously. It's yeah,
Mm.
passive income's a hell of a drug. Costco can't sell Bitcoin. Oh yeah, that's I did miss that. Yeah, they're not no Bitcoin. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how they would sell that because I don't know. Costco's more likely to split 20 times. We'll see. And yeah, John, I don't know. I mean, it technically is more affordable on a per share basis, but really the valuation still doesn't change. There's nothing about the valuation that changes, and that's why companies do the split, because they then it optically it looks like it's cheaper. But oh, look at this, Brandon. Hey, are you so are all I don't know this, are all the Costco's unionized, or because it sounded like 18,000 workers. So would you be striking? How does that work, Brandon? If you can share it, I don't know if you can. I saw that they were holding practice pickets, which I thought was kind of funny. I don't know. You hold a practice picket? Whoa, look at that. He had a Don Mattingly professionally graded card that he sold for 14K.
Hmm.
Dude, that's no joke. And that would be my worry, is that if I didn't sell it, it would somehow lose value. Like something would happen.
I would love to
But
know how much you got that card for.
yeah, where did you get it? How did you get that? And Ray, yeah, you're right. It makes the options cheaper too. Yeah, I guess so, right? When the stock price is cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see Costco split. That'd be great.
There goes Brandon with his he's saying that, okay, so it's not every Costco store is unionized, so just certain Costco stores are unionized. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see in 2 weeks what happens with that. But so yeah, what do you guys what's on your watch list this week? What are you looking to buy? What do you think is going to happen, right? Almost 1 week of the return of Trump, yeah. Oh, he had a collection of about 600 graded cards he sent in. Not one card.
Wow.
Oh, I
He
see.
bought it in bulk
Okay.
or got it in bulk. Or,
So he sold all of them. Okay, not the.
Mm.
I
I mean,
gotcha.
still, I mean, he probably made a great return on investment on that, so I love it.
Yeah, Bose. There's a Really interesting article in the Financial Times they had about the GLP-1 drugs and how investors are losing their appetite. So that's oh yeah, I forgot that. Uh, Ryan's from Sacramento. He's in what do they call it? Sacktown? Oh no, is it over?
Well,
Is it over?
it looks like I'm not watching Super Bowl on my birthday.
You got to be kidding me.
I mean,
How
I
many
probably will, but
how many is this what? Now 4 of the last 5 Super Bowls that Casey's been in?
I forgot what the stat was, Russ. I think KC has been either in the last 7 or 8 AFC title games in a
Oh
row,
Jesus.
something like that. But
Well, everybody
yeah.
that's a Chiefs fan is happy, and everybody else is just shaking their heads, saying, "Bills, you disappointed me."
Well, my stance on this point for Super Bowl is go Saquon.
Yeah, I'm an Eagles fan. SCHD Stan, if you know him, I should have shouted him out. He's a huge Eagles fan. So, D's dibs. So that makes me laugh. So, are you looking to buy them or sell? Because when I see that you're looking for great earnings, that would make the stock price go up, right? So,
Go.
oh no, he froze. He's in the Matrix.
A couple of my friends try to load up on Google as much as they could. I think it was during the summer.
Yeah, you were in the Matrix, dude. You froze up, but you're back.
There we go.
Say hi to Neo while you're in there. If you forced whiskey, he would buy Ben, which is Franklin, right? Franklin, I think.
Yep.
Oh, Alan, he lives in a Chiefs household. What does that mean? It doesn't sound like he's a Chiefs fan. Okay, so you own them. Yeah, that would be good then. But if I was looking to buy, like, I am for Costco or whatever. Google is interesting. That's one that, they pay a dividend now, so that would be interesting. Look at this guy, Folsom. Folsom. I don't know that from Johnny Cash. I don't know where Folsom is. I guess it's in Sacramento then. Yeah, interesting little note about Novo and Eli Lilly. At a physical last week, and we talked about the GLP-1 drug, and she told me there's a generic that has come out. And that was one of the things. There's companies that are looking to take that market share from them. So they're, yeah, we'll see, man. That's what happens. Competition. And I don't know. I think people, unfortunately, everyone wants the cheat code. They should just eat healthier. You can exercise. Look, most people's problems can be cured with sleep, exercise, and diet. And again, most, not medical advice. I mean, we're not curing mental illness and stuff like that. But, geez. So what are you doing, man? What are you gonna be buying anything this week, or what? What are you looking at?
It's not my buy week this week. I do it every 2 weeks. Honestly, when it's buy time, more than likely, I'm just going to ETF it up. More than likely right now. There's not really, for individual holdings, not really opportunities that I see right now. So I'll just DCA into the ETFs. Keep it simple.
Yeah, speaking of DCAing, that's one thing I actually, if you get the newsletter, you can sign up below. It's free every week. But I bought one more share of VTI at $301 and I think 50 cents. And it was tough because 2 weeks ago I bought 3 shares around, I think 286, 287. And now it's over 300. And you want to say like, I'm going to wait. It'll come down a little bit, but it might not. It could, but it could not. Nobody knows, right? The future's unknown and unknowable, but
it's funny. Though, Russ, we talked about this here earlier, right? Before we started the live stream, I asked, because I know what you're doing with your wife's Roths, just doing BTI. That's it. Ask you. I bet you she's doing really good because it's not too much thinking. It's just set, forget, and whatever happens, happens.
It is, and that is probably the biggest cheat code to building generational wealth is just automating it. So in my wife's Roth, we have one holding, and it is just VTI, but we do $50 every Friday. And I was telling Harris that it's so cool because I forget. I'll be working or whatever, and then all of a sudden I hear, listen to an audiobook or podcast, and I get an alert. I was like, wait, what's that? Like a crack addict, right? I got to look at the thing. And then all of a sudden I was like, we bought 50 shares of VTI. Don't need to look at the price. Don't do anything, whether it's at an all-time high, 52-week low, somewhere in the middle. We're just buying $50 every week. And that's what's really been, helping a lot of the Mag 7 in that, because a lot of people don't know that the Mag 7, I think, makes up like 35 or 40% of both VOO and the S&P 500 and the total stock market index. But every dollar that comes in, 40 cents is going to the Mag 7. So that just keeps them getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But if there's ever a sell-off and everybody starts selling the S&P 500, then it works in reverse. So 40 cents is going to be coming out for every dollar that's sold off. So you might see the Mag 7 stocks fall a lot harder if there's a market correction or crash or downturn or whatever. But
quick question there, Russ. If let's say for the day that VTI gets to a 52-week low, would you actually bump up the contribution?
I'd probably be tempted to. So it's funny. My wife's Roth, we didn't max it out. Again, this is actually like leftover money. And we just thought, like, I was like, why don't we have a Roth for you? So we just started one, and I was like, it'll be fun. We'll just do that. The VTI challenge is just $50 a week. Just don't even think about it and see what happens. And so far, she's pretty much been beating me. So, yeah, but I probably would think about. But then again, if everything's at a 52-week low, I'm gonna be loading up on other stuff. So, I might not just to keep it. Just to say that for 2, 3, 5 years, we just did $50 a week, and that way I could share with everybody saying, look what happens with just $50 a week in the VTI. And Ray's buying Amazon every week at all-time highs. Hey, that's
it's conviction, right?
Yeah, Adam looking at buying Hershey, which that's been getting clobbered.
Sub 150.
Yeah, I was surprised at that, but I get that's the market telling us something. The market is telling us that they think it's real. Like the fear is real with the weight loss drugs, RFK making America healthy again.
Price of cocoa.
Yeah, price of cocoa. So there's been a lot of headwinds.
Competition, right? There's so many other there's just a lot of factors with it right now.
There was I don't remember if it was Hindenburg Research, which by the way is a short seller. They shut down recently, but they said Mr. Beast is coming for Hershey's, which I thought was a little bit laughable. Like, it's not a nothing burger, but I don't know. My kids won't try it. My kids, I don't even know if they watch Mr. Beast. I don't think they do.
I don't know.
They watch TikTok too much. And I don't know if anybody saw this, or if you saw this, pre-installed, or if there's a phone that has TikTok, they've been going for $1,000 to $3,000 on eBay. It's madness. And I told my wife, I'm like, this is the behavior of addicts. It really is.
GameStop put out an ad that they're trying to buy those phones to try to resell them.
No, did they?
Yep.
I don't get it. I've never had TikTok. I've never watched it. I mean, I'm well aware what it is. We're at the funny thing, we're at this volleyball tournament, and my wife and I are walking around like in between matches, and in the hall, like the big convention center, there's all these teenage girls, right? It's just a sea of teenage girls, but they have the metal magnets on the back of the phone. So everywhere they're like looking for anything metal, like doors or like fire extinguisher boxes, anything they can stick a phone on. You got 2, 3, 4 girls all doing these dances, and we're just like, when is this gonna end? I can't wait. Oh, I like this, Dex. Yeah, you don't read Bear Cave. I get their newsletter. It comes out once a week every Sunday. I like to see what's. Yeah, you're right, man. He does post others' research. Sometimes there's helpful nuggets in there, but I don't know if I call him a clown. I guess we all have our own opinions. But anyway, dude, we made it. How about that?
We did.
We're back. You're breaking out the rust.
Definitely a lot more rust. I feel like it was a lot more quiet than I normally am. I always have a million things to say, but that we've been talking about this. I'm looking for maybe for beginning of March to go back 100% and talk my gibberish, as Ryan likes to say.
Dude, I missed the podcast you used to put out Monday mornings. It was one of my listens to on Monday. I haven't talked to you yet. I just wanted to real quick pull up Justin and say what's up, man. I remember most of you if I've seen the name, But Google, Hershey, and Novo are his favorite buys right now, playing both sides. Oh, I see. That's funny with Hershey and Novo Nordisk. Hey, why not? You know, hedge your bets, man. Hedge your bets. So, anyway, I'll leave you guys there. But it's been a weekend for me, man. It's been a weekend. I'm beat. Daddy's gonna unwind on the couch for a little bit now. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't have a couple adult beverages and watch something. But yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for hanging out. It's fun anytime. You're welcome.
No, I appreciate you bringing me back in and, helping me get the cobwebs off, and let's, bringing this back into play.
Beat those cobwebs off. How about it? Anyway,
there we go.
we'll keep it PG and above the belt here. And PG, it rhymes with Pee Wee, which is what we end up with. Because, hey, I'm a kid of the 80s. I love the ending credit music. So until somebody tells me to cease and desist, I'm going to play it. So, hey, I do appreciate you and everybody else watching. So we'll do it again next week. So be kind to yourself and everybody else. And we'll see you later. How about it?